Hello there, it's Majid and I'm gonna start a Spring Boot tutorial series for the newcomers, for the beginners and anyone who wants to do the web development using Java technologies and Spring Boot framework. So before we begin, I would like to clear that this would only be a Hello World application. So if you know Hello World application, how to build it, you may leave, or if you want to see how to do it maybe in some other ways, maybe you never had done it this way, so you could stay, no worries. We will be using a Spring Boot tool suite or a Spring tool suite provided by the Spring, and then we will be building an application on it. This will be a long running tutorial series that will end when we have built a complete CRUD application that would be connected to a database. In our case, that would be MongoDB. So let's go into the contents. What are the contents? In this tutorial, we will be going through the prerequisites. What are the necessary things? Those we need already in our computer. We need to have them installed and all that. Who is this tutorial for and what is this tutorial for? Afterwards, I'll simply explain what is Spring Boot in simpler words so that you don't have to worry about it. If you want to learn more about a Spring Boot, what is a Spring Boot and how does it work and what are the things, those would come with the time. But if you want to have a better definition, please go and search on the Google, you'll find better definitions there. Afterwards, we'll know how to install a Spring Boot tool suite. Then later on, we'll build a project, an empty project, of course. Then we'll run the empty project. Afterwards, we'll create a simple controller, then we'll create a REST controller, and then we'll know what to do afterwards. So for the prerequisites, we need a will to learn. By a will to learn, I mean we don't have to give up. Once we start, we have to go until the end. We have to see the result, and believe me, in the end, when we have finished it, you will learn a lot of things about Spring Boot, web development using Java and all that. So go till the end. You should have a spirit full of will to do it. You'll need a little bit knowledge of Java. By little bit, I mean basic knowledge, OOP, methods, collections, linked list, maps and all that. That would help. And afterwards, you need to have JDK, Maven installed in your computer. You need to have an internet connection. That would, of course, you need it for the tutorials. Yeah, you can download it and then watch them later, but you will need an internet connection for downloading the tool suite and then building Maven prerequisites, building Maven already build little empty project, barebone project with the Spring Boot initializer. So what is this project? What is this tutorial and who is this tutorial for? This is a simple Spring Boot tutorial which will contain, the first tutorial would be a Spring Boot Hello World application that will be taking further into a CRUD application that would be connected to a MongoDB, and then it will contain multiple videos. Who is this tutorial for? This tutorial is for anyone who wants to learn Spring Boot, and this would be starting from the beginning. So yeah, it is also for the beginners. So you need to have a Java programmer. You don't need to be a Java programmer, but if you are a Java programmer, this would be a plus point for you, and you don't really need any knowledge about web programming, so it would be total beginner course. What is a Spring Boot? A Spring Boot is a simple application framework that was built on top of the Spring MVC framework. It makes our life, by our I mean developers' life, easy to build web application. It takes care of all the configurations those the Spring MVC needed. So simply put, a framework for the Java web development that makes things easier for Java developers. Now Let's go dig deep into the application, how to build the application. Let's do that. So now before we begin, let's install our Spring Tool Suite. How do we do that? Go to Google Chrome or any browser, write Spring Boot Tool Suite or only Spring Tool Suite. Go to Spring Tools on this website. So let's go to this one now, or you could just simply dial this URL and then you will be in the main page. Now you can download for Mac OS, you can download for Linux, you can download for Windows. We will be using Mac OS version because I'm using Mac OS. But the thing is, you can download it for anything and then extract it. Once you have extracted it, and then we'll go ahead, because once the IDE is downloaded, everything is same, everything would work same. It's just a downloading part. So for now, for example, if I do Mac OS, I click it, it is downloaded, it is being downloading, so I cancel it because I already have downloaded it. So I cancel it, I go into my Explorer, so when I come here, it's there, this one. So I download, I unzip it, so it's unzipping. Now I install it. Now we close it, we go to our applications, we run a Spring Tool Suite, once we run it, this is how it should look like. Now we need to create a Spring Boot application from the beginning. So we go into the file, we create a new project from Spring Starter project. So we give the name of our project, we will be giving hello world here. So we have to choose which type do we want to use for the build. We'll be using Maven here. We can check which packaging should we use. We will be using jar here, language of course Java. It's up to you. I'll be using Java version 11, so whichever JDK you have installed. Then this is the package name and all that. So we'll be going into these things later on. So give whatever description you want to give, and then so let's get going, press next. From here, since our application would be a web application, so we click this and click on Spring Web, we go next, we finish, we wait for our project to be imported. Now that our project is imported, we can run it. So this is the directory structure of the project. This target would contain everything that we build. Afterwards these are built. So this will have Maven dependencies, all the jars those we need to run this project. This is J2E system library. This is for the test. This is for the resources like application properties, templates, views, and all that. We will be going there later. This is the class, this is the package that we'll be using. So here you can see hello world application, which contains a main method which is being run, and then this has a Spring Boot application annotation. We'll be going through all of them later on. For now we have to build a hello world application. So for now just memorize these things. We will be clearing them one by one later on. Now what do? We build this project and we check if it is running or not. Before doing that, let's go and check if our project, if anything is running on our port or not. So right now nothing is running on our port, so everything is returning empty, nothing happening. So let's go build this project as a Spring Boot. So run as a Spring Boot application. We wait. As you can see here, our Spring Boot application is running perfectly, just fine. It was run. So it is Tomcat is started. Now application is running. Now when we do this, so the previous error is gone, our application is running, but there is nothing to display, so no controllers and all that. That is why we are having a white label error page. Let's go and make it correct. Now we open it. So now we need a controller. Controller is a method that displays what exactly we want from our program to do. So controllers are simply methods. So now we'll create a simple package which will say controllers or whatever you want to name it. Go. So create a simple class, a Java class. I'll say hello world controller. So like I said, a controller is a simple method. So we create a method, public void public string. So say hello. Hello world, and that's it. This is our controller, but right now of course it wouldn't do anything, so we will check it whether it does anything or not. So we stop it. So we run the application again. We say always save the resources before running it again. We go and check our application again. Nothing is happening because we didn't tell Spring Boot what to do with that particular controller. So this is a class, Java class. We want our Spring Boot to use it as a controller. We are not using it as a REST controller, so only a controller. And afterwards we are saying when we run this application and in URL you find this particular path, URL path is this one, run this controller. So import controller, stop the application, rerun it again. It should not display anything because our controller is not a REST controller, it is only a controller. What is the difference between them? We will be covering all the things later on in the upcoming tutorials. Let's go check it. Nothing is happening. So we go back again. We make this controller as a REST controller. We import the annotation. Now we go rerun the application again, and then we check whether it works now or not. Bingo! Our application is working now. We have a Hello World application that is running using a Spring Boot framework. So we build our first Spring Boot web application. Woohoo! So now from here we'll be going ahead. And how would we go ahead? Let's discuss that. That would be the next step. Where are we? 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 Assalamu alaikum. So now once we are done with our project, or once we are done with our series, we will have a whole application that would be a CRUD application that would be connected to a database. In our case, we will be using a MongoDB database. So how do we go there? How do we get there? We will get there topic by topic, step by step. Please go into the questions, go into the comment section, ask questions. I'll answer you regularly. And if you have any doubts about any topic, you could ask about them. We'll discuss them together, and then in our video series we'll also be covering them. So it shouldn't be a thought in your mind that we'll be stopping here. We'll finish what we have started, and we'll in the end have a CRUD application that would be connected to a MongoDB database. And before connecting to a MongoDB database, we'll also be creating a simple CRUD application that would not be storing the data in a database. We'll be using simply collection frameworks, a list. We'll be creating a student class that would be adding different records of students in a list. We'll be able to delete it, update it, and then once we are done with that, we'll be converting that into a database. That would be MongoDB in our case. So stay tuned, and yeah, see you next time. Bye bye, take care.